Greetings and welcome to the Halloween edition of the Sliders Review. And I'm here today to talk to you about Chucky Season 2, Episode 2, The Sinners Are Much More Fun. So this takes place directly after the first episode, and the trio are now at that little Catholic school and everything, and they're trying to integrate there, but they of course don't want to. Lexi's complaining about having to wear the outfit every day. And Devin is upset because Jake wants to, do the download on them being a couple, because at that Catholic school, they're not okay with, gay culture and stuff like that. And so it's gonna be quite a transition. But of course, Jake and Devin are roommates. Alexi gets herself a roommate, Nadine, played by Bella. I think it's Higginbocker, I think. Higginbottom or something like that. She's the actress from the Mighty Ducks Game Changers. The one with the red hair and did the cosplay, who was in season 1 but not in season 2. So she has finally showed up, and it turns out that she is a bit odd in everything. When they had to take communion, she was not allowed to because she sinned earlier that day. And she has to do her confession. When, Lexi asks, what did you do and stuff like that, she's very coy and she's all I'll tell you my secrets if you tell me yours. But of course, Lexi doesn't want to do that. Well, later on in the episode, it turns out that she's a kleptomaniac and everything. And so, with this Catholic school, there's Father Bryce, played by Devin Sauer. So I was wondering, how exactly he was going to fit into this role, because of course he played Jake's father and uncle. You kind of can't even really tell it's him. He's wearing glasses, he has a beard and stuff like that. But I'm glad that Jake does make the reference of he reminds him of his father. Because if they would have just have him in there and not make some kind of reference, and it would be kind of weird and stuff. And so when it comes to that of Chucky, of course, he mailed himself to that of the school. Now there are 3 nuns. There's an old nun, there's a young nun, and there's a black nun. The old nun is cool. The young one is kind of irritating and very strict. She thinks she can see God in everything, even a taco. She thinks she sees God in Chucky's face. The black one's kind of cool and everything, because back in the day, boys and girls were not allowed in the same room. But she fought a long time ago for them to be in the same room, to have to keep the door open. Now, Father Bryce is extremely strict. Him and Jake are not getting along and everything. When Jake goes, they notice that, Chucky is at the school. How? Because when the old nun was in the room with Chucky alone, he scared the crap out of her. First, he did his typical doll thing. He falls on the floor and say, "Hi, I'm Chucky," and stuff like that. But then he comes up behind her and he just scares the crap out of her, which gives her a heart attack. And he has one of the funniest lines. He's all like, "Oh my God." I scared you just by you looking at me. Thank you. That means so much to me. And I'm just kind of the dude is thrilled that somebody had a heart attack just by looking at him. And of course she dies and everything. But when she dies, he takes a picture of her with a cell phone, which is kind of weird, him using a cell phone, but no weirder than him using the kitchen knife. So as the coroners and everything taking her body away, that's when the trio spots Chucky. So of course they're worried and everything. And Lexi has the idea of yo, let's just bolt. Let's just run away, leave. I mean, how they gonna stop us? There's no guards, they don't have guns. It's not like they're gonna shoot them and everything. But Jake convinces them to stay and stuff like that. Well, no, actually Devin does, because he's all they have nowhere to go, because they literally don't, you know what I'm saying? And technically they are kind of fugitives in a way, because they're responsible. They're framed for that little boy's death. And so Jake tells them, no mention of Chucky coming alive, nothing like that, because they're gonna throw us in the crazy house and stuff. Well, Jake is worried and he gets an excuse to use the restroom, but only for 5 minutes. He grabs like a plastic like knife and everything, and he goes in there to kill Chucky and stuff. But as soon as he's about to, Father Bryce stops him and makes him like locks him in a room with Chucky. Is all like it's just a doll and makes him read the Bible. The dude is super strict. Also, what was he gonna do with a plastic knife? Yeah, it can do a little damage, but you really gotta saw into that. You know, and like it's a toy doll, so that's not gonna exactly like plastic on plastic ain't just ain't gonna work. Put a couple of scratches, but that's about it. So, anyways, he wants Chucky to like reveal himself. Of course, he doesn't. And so, it is kind of interesting, I'll say. Like, I'm kind of curious to know how long this whole Catholic school thing is gonna last. How long is it gonna be before Chucky reveals himself to everybody? You know what I'm saying? Like, will one of the kids be punished and stuff? And punished in a severe way? Because, of course, when people start dying, they're gonna blame the trio. And so he knocks Chucky down, and then when he go looking for him, Chucky for some reason takes his picture and then runs up the chimney. Now, this is kind of odd. Chucky constantly taking like pictures of everything. So in a way, Lexi, she's still worried that that dude that got sent to school there, might come after her. But instead of fearing him, she decides just to be a butthead and antagonizes him. But he's just kind of like, I'm a changed person, this and that. But then he brings up her past and her boyfriend's past and all the people that died last season. So even though he's kind of like a zealot now and kind of like brainwashing everything, he will still antagonize her back. So he might be a character to watch out for. And because it's the type of person that Chucky will normally try to like befriend and stuff. And so now that Lexi's scared of Chucky and everything, she decides that she's going to like, barricade her door when she sleeps. Her roommate thinks it's weird, but whatever. So of course, when her roommate is sleeping, Lexi is still in her drug habit and doing lines of chalk. During this time, Chucky takes her picture and he's trying to push the dresser away from the door. Of course, that makes noise. Her roommate rakes up and screams and everything. And Chucky screams back because he's scared and everything. And so Lexi sees this and everything and she's worried. Chucky runs out and everybody wants to know what the world's going on. She tells them that, it's like, it's weird because she's all like, I was scared. And they're like, what are you scared of? She's like, the bathroom. Like, I'm just like, I miss my old bathroom, stuff like that. This, of course, tips off Jake and Devin to where they go in the restroom looking for Chucky. They're not able to find him, but he jumps Jake, strangling him, then pulls out a knife. Devin is able to kick him into the stall. Devin is about to kill him until Jake goes on Chucky's phone looking at the pictures, and for some bizarre reason, he makes Devin stop. Well, later on that day, Lexi comes in the room and Chucky is tied up to a chair. Jake now knows what Chucky is up to. They bring Nadine into like the fold and everything since she knows what Chucky is now. See, Chucky was in their room underneath the bed because Nadine says she keeps the best stuff she steals under her bed and the smaller stuff in the drawer. Well, she saw Chucky in the hall, thought he was a cute doll. They both had red hair, so she stole him. Anyway, when you go on Chucky's phone, he has a bunch of selfies of himself. But Jake realizes that he's doing reconnaissance and everything. He's scouting out the place. And they don't know for who and everything. And so they have to keep him alive to figure out what's going on and stuff. It's like, why is Chucky scouting that place? Well, he reveals why to Tiffany. So now let's get to the Tiffany part of the story. Tiffany still has Nico tied up and everything like that. When Tiffany wakes up, there's blood all over her hand. There's blood all over the bed. She pulls back the sheet, and it's a Scarface reference. You know how many times they're gonna keep doing this Scarface thing and like Halloween type stuff? It's getting old. Anyway, it's Tiffany's decapitated head, the one that Andy shot off. And so she's freaking out. She doesn't understand what's going on. And the question is, how did the head get there? Well, it had to be one of the other Chucky dolls that did it. So more than like two survived. And so like she does the voodoo thing and she makes Chucky come in Nico's body. And he tells her straight up, I'm coming for you. Don't think for a second he ain't gonna let that pass by him. And he's also going after the trio. So yeah, he just wants revenge and he wants to kill them all. And so at this point in time, Tiffany is getting excited because the twins are about to show up. But she thinks the twins are at the gate, but a detective sneaks over like her gate and is a huge fan of hers. He thinks it's Jennifer Tilly. You gotta give it up to Jennifer Tilly. She's a really, really, really good actress that nobody never pays attention to. She's relegated to that of just the Chucky movies and Family Guy, but she's so good. She's kind of like, she reminds me so much of Harley Quinn and everything. She's like a dipsier version of Harley Quinn. And she's so great at that role. And I wish she'll get more work doing other stuff. So in a way, the detective is really weird. He's like just bizarre and strange. And he loves Jennifer Tilly and all this other crap. But he's looking for Nico, who escaped the mental place and a bunch of killings. So he thinks she's responsible for it. And so he comes back late on in the episode, and Tiffany just like kills him. And so it turns out that Nico is secretly working with Chucky inside her body and stuff because they really want to get rid of Tiffany. So it's like, the enemy of my enemy is like my friend type thing. And so, of course, it couldn't have been Nico that went and got the severed like Tiffany head because she has no limbs and everything. And so it had to be one of the other Chucky dolls or something. So I wonder how many episodes are going to be available for free on YouTube and also on the Sci-Fi and USA app. Because other than that, I ain't going to be able to watch after that. And stuff. But yeah, this was a pretty cool episode. Yeah, two people die. One in a hilarious way. One in a typical slasher kind of way. It wasn't really like that, like thrilling, but at least you got more information. And of course, at the end, here come the twins rolling up in the pink car and everything, going by the pronouns them and they. And so they go in the house, but we don't see their faces, just the back of their heads. Now, the celeb that plays them, it's the same person playing both roles and stuff. It's the star from The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, the Theo character and stuff. I forgot the person's name. Lose something. I forgot. My bad. But yeah, they don't show the faces, but they're gonna appear, of course, in the next episode. And I still don't know much about Glenn and Glenda. I don't know the first thing about them. I don't know if they're killers or not, but Tiffany was trying to clean up the blood before they came in the house because she didn't want them to see it and stuff. So maybe they're not down with that. I don't know. I never bothered to look the twins up or even like a lot of other stuff because I want to kind of be surprised and I want to see the movies, but I can't find them on streaming where it's free. So I'm just going to have to wait. Now, there's one interesting thing with Lexi that she tells her roommate. Her roommate's all like, we can be friends. And Lexi's all like, I have no friends. And then she, for only a brief second, a moment, she lets it out, like emotional and stuff. Like she tells Nadine that, she don't have friends. Like, friends don't talk to you. Friends move away. Friends fall in love with each other and just like don't want nothing to do with you. She feels very neglected by both like, Devin and Jake because, so much time has went by and, when Jake pretty much just had his own life with his new family and he really didn't even talk to Devin all that much and stuff. And, you gotta feel bad for her a little bit. Like she's that type of character that you really hated in season 1, But then once all the crazy stuff started happening, you started to like her a little bit and stuff, And Chucky brought like her and all of them to like together and stuff in a weird slashery killer kind of way. And so it's kind of like her boyfriend's dead, her mom never believes her, her sister she's worried for and stuff, and her dad's dead, and and she only has like Jake and Devin, and they just kind of just went their own separate ways. So she just feels lonely, to where she doesn't even want like nobody in her life anymore. That wasn't that spooky. Alright, well, I shall talk to y'all later. Bye.